The Impossible Return to Innocence by J.D. Clair. Chapter 2. The Blur. It had been 5 years since my mother almost killed me, and while I learned to live ashamed of that which was beyond my control, I never stopped running. I was 17, entering into the final months of my junior year in high school. While I was a proud Bronco possessed by school spirit with a green and white soul, academia had lost its appeal. The winter couldn't end fast enough. For me, summer and fall were the months with the most promise, endless days of cool, soothing air and time to spend doing anything I wanted. I was plugged into football and track at school and jogged whenever I could between practices. Anything to get out of the house. Even the escape of video games lost their appeal after a while. I wanted to be outside doing anything. I wanted to run. "Where are you going?" my mother asked, knowing exactly where I was going. She saw the green high-top training shoes I was lacing up, the shoes I only wear when going for a run. I didn't respond. "Where are you going, Dominick?" she asked again in frustration. "For a jog," I mumbled. "Did you do your homework?" she asked weakly. She was searching for an excuse to talk to me, and I didn't want to give her the satisfaction. "Did you take your medicine?" I shot back with contempt. She left the room sobbing, though I didn't feel bad. Hardly a day goes by that I don't think about when she attacked me. The blood, the glass, the cuts. The event was as ever present in my mind as the soft skin scars that permanently creased my forehead, cheek, and ear. Many of the cuts healed. Others faded into jagged pink folds, but the marred hairline gave the appearance I was mauled by a large dog or a bear. At least, that's what I told people brave enough to ask me. For years I would have nightmares of my mother walking into my room at night with those cold, distant, inhuman eyes glowing in the dark blue. She would pull the glass from her nerve-damaged hand and stab me in the stomach while I lay asleep in bed, and I would wake up terrified. No child should have to hide a knife under their pillow to protect themselves, especially from their mother. My dad would try to reassure me, saying, "Your mom was ill. You need to respect her. She was suffering from a mental disease that caused her to have an episode." An episode? That's what he thought of it? As if it was a show of the week. I love my dad, but I could never understand how he could let her live with us after what she did, especially with my younger sister Gina in the house. She should have been in jail, or better yet, in one of those horrible sanitariums that couldn't legally exist anymore, but should for people like her. I stepped outside in my gray sweats and stretched. The sky was lost in a dense white fog that blended into a still winter morning landscape with a faint smell of salt and gas-powered snowblowers that hung low in the air. It was nearly spring, and this was possibly my last run in the cold season. I bounced on my toes a few strides, hopping back and forth on the thin layer of crunching snow. It was only cold for the first minute or so. Then, as I began to increase my speed, the tightening and burning of my muscles to the exotic bitter rush of wind took me to a state between pain and euphoria. That place where the mind breaks free of the body and enters the hidden static between worries and responsibilities. I was always most comfortable there, in the blur. My family, my friends, and the entire world slip away from me when I'm lost in the blur of a run. Brick houses on long stretches of suburban block fold into one another as I race through the streets. The music in my headphones overwhelms the noise of the world until the music too fades to obscurity. The world bends around, forming a tunnel, which becomes replaced by imagination. Percussed breath maintains my pace, giving rhythm to my thoughts. I always found myself replaying the events of that horrible day, chasing the phantom echo of history. I felt I could nearly change things if I could only run faster. For the next hour, the blur becomes my new world, until I'm jolted by an awakening buzz. The alarm shakes aggravated, and like a fishing reel, I'm pulled back to consciousness. From there, I stumble home, rubber-legged, sore, and accomplished.